Yes. So once a person starts really experiencing, tasting, you can say this divine essence. I got to be careful of the words though, 'cause I don't want to sound. These words have been so overused and misused. God and bliss and peace and guru. So I try to use them somewhat sparingly. But when you start to taste your real self, this nectar or this peace, this serenity that's uncaused. It's not contingent upon something happening. It didn't come because you got a new job or a bunch of money or won the lottery or got in a new relationship. This new person really likes you and it's like, oh wow. No, it didn't come from that. It came from inside for no apparent reason. Now you can trace that to, when I say no apparent reason, well, sometimes it does come like that. Like there hasn't been any sadhana or spiritual practice or anything. It just comes like a boon, like a blast. I call that some really good karma ripening for whatever reason. That's the divine timing. You could be in the middle of you could be bullying somebody, being a mean person, and all of a sudden, boom, you get hit with this piece, and you're like, whoa, sorry, want some money? We don't know. Anyway, usually that doesn't last either. That's the thing. I had that happen at 12 years old. I just fell in love with everybody. Just loved everybody, even my mom and grandma. That was a change for that age. I wasn't very nice, and it scared me. I didn't know what I was going to do because I like to pretend I was gangster at that time, and I'd go out and want to throw down, I'd rap. Those are the days. And anyway, so now I was filled with love and peace, and I'm like, whoa, my friends aren't going to be having this. But it was so intoxicating, man. I never forgot about it. If somebody asked me what was the highest experience you had in your life, I go to that immediately. And then after that, I'll go to some plant medicine experiences and stuff, and maybe some relationships, the intimacy that I experienced with the woman. Anyway, there's a few, but that one really stands out. I couldn't keep it though. I wasn't. This vehicle wasn't ready for that. It wasn't. There's too much karma, too much ego, too much tendency and desires, and in a negative sense to where that could stay. Besides that, I was praying that it would go away. God, please take this away. Actually, if I ever had a panic attack in my life, I would say that would be the time. Because I was in the room and everything got really claustrophobic. And the walls were closing in. I mean, I couldn't breathe. I think that's a panic attack. Because I didn't know what to do. My ego was going. I didn't want it to go. I'm like, no. And so then God hooked me up. He gave me the ego back. And it didn't take long before I was like, you dumbass, why did you do that? I was talking about myself. Like, why did you found like the pot of gold that everybody's looking for. And then you beg God to take that away? Later I understood. Like it just wasn't time. Like I couldn't have kept that. I didn't have the vehicle wasn't prepared. So usually, so that can happen, but usually when we start tasting our own inner peace and self, our consciousness, formless self, it's because of our spiritual practice and our sadhana, that starts to bear fruit at some point. It just does, and it's not the first. If you listen to these videos, you didn't just have the idea about a spiritual practice and trying to wake up, when you were born in this life. Obviously, it takes lifetimes to come into this, to where this desire to where you even know what this is, to where you even would think about it. So it can also be when we start tasting this, it can be from previous life karma of good karma from having a spiritual practice, and then that carries over, and then and the karmic mathematicians work all this out. Once we start tasting this, obviously the urge is going to increase to be free. We want more of it. It's more addicting than crack, than anything, So then the urge even becomes urgent. It's not just a curiosity anymore. It becomes like, no, This is my life now. Like your material existence just pales in significance compared to this. There's no competition for it. It's like, please give me all the cars and relationships and money and trips to wherever, all you want. It's all external. It's all material. It doesn't matter. Like you come to that realization. It's not an intellectual belief or an affirmation. Like you just see, because you've tasted that enough. I like what Osho said once. He said that, rich humans have a better chance of waking up than poor, because when you're rich, it's a general standard. There's no, I mean, it's just something he's pointing to something. It's not an absolute. But when you've had everything materially, then your desires. Damn, the mosquitoes are really biting today. When you've had all your desires fulfilled materially, and you see that they don't do anything, and then you get touched by something inside, you can go fully with that because you've already tasted this other life. Whereas if you haven't done that, and you have all these, like when I was traveling around, there's so many people that wanted to come to America, in all these developing countries I went to. I'm like, you don't want to go there. You got it made. Can't help it though. They got this desire, and they want to experience how it is, and there's all these things. They're not really going to be deeply devoted to a spiritual practice because that karma's there. So that's why it can be a positive. It can be good if you've had everything and you just see through it all. You're like, this sucks. So once you start tasting this inner self, you just want more of it and more and more. That's healthy. That's good. If that's your main desire, it's like all the other desires collapse into that. That's good. Then you can really start to get somewhere because your attention is on that. Here's what I want to say though. Don't trip too hard. See, because the mind can take that and turn it in, use it for its own purpose. You got to understand, the mind and ego is with us on this spiritual journey the whole time. The whole time. And it's really with some of these people that like to broadcast their awakening. Ego's real right there, They don't know it. It's cool. It's a stage. So you got to be careful if the mind tries to take this urge and start evaluating. You start evaluating yourself all the time. How close am I? Am I getting close? I'm almost there to enlightenment. Oh damn! I got upset with somebody the other day. They were showing me their attitude, and I kind of smarted off to them. Damn! Like, oh man, did I lose my spiritual progress? Don't let the mind mess you up. Appreciate this urge. God put this urge in here. It means that your purification of this human construct is really being accelerated. That's what it means. But let it, like, you don't have to do nothing. You don't have to maintain. You didn't put it there. It's there. It's that who put it there is taking care of it. You just recognize, whoa, I noticed that my main goal in life now is just to marinate in this inner spaciousness that I am, and not be so identified with this material realm and this body and all of its little desires. Wow, I'm actually, my attention is inside a lot of the time now. Wow, I just want to I want to do it even more. Maybe I used to do it an hour a day if you add all the moments together. Now I want to do it now, and then later you're doing it 5 hours a day, and then something just wants, like, I want to do it 10. I want to do it 24 hours. I don't even want to sleep. I just want to keep just, and then you recognize that it's happening by itself. You don't make it a big deal. This whole show runs itself. The more we can be aware of that and cooperate that. What does it cooperate with that? What does it mean to cooperate with it? It means just don't tell yourself a bunch of stories about it. Don't think, oh, now the human mind, now I got to manage this. Well, I got this new spiritual tendency and hunger. I gotta really manage this now. No, it manages itself. That's how you cooperate with it. Just notice it, enjoy, be grateful for it. It's fine. You share it also if you're in the presence of the right people. Don't share it to look at me. No. But even that takes care of itself. Everything takes care of itself when we stop paying so much attention to our mind, and you start to, you start to flow. And then you're going to be good. And then your magnetism is going to increase, and you're going to attract things in the material world anyway. You don't need to do some mental manifestation exercise. I made a video, I think, earlier about that. Like, forget about manifestation. Just, what's your main goal? Okay, if it's to wake up and to just melt and merge more with this pure consciousness that you are, then that's the high. How are you going to beat that manifestation? Please. All right. Have a good day.